Pretty much. And in this episode...
we are streaming.
Ooh, streaming.
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
No, we're not Final Fantasy.
We're final boss fight.
This is now just turning into how many copyrights can we get in a minute?
Oh, come on, you can't copyright anymore.
Yeah.
Has to be free use by now, Yakety Stacks.
Yakety yak, don't look back.
Yeah, let's roll a 1d100 to see how much my luck will be paid today.
Yeah, how good's everybody's luck doing?
Ooh,
Let's do
look
the
at
luck.
my luck.
Let's test the luck.
Nope.
Oh.
If I tore
Yeah, alright.
Uh-oh, Seraphine and Torin.
You two should stay at the back.
You two should stay on the front.
You two should stay...
The guy who, if he gets sneezed on, will die.
You two should stay in the middle of the group.
Wait,
What's that?
guys,
What's
what are
that,
you on
Golly?
about? Torn isn't even that bad. He's 75.
You look at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, first roll.
7 first.
First roll was
Oh. Oh, now I see.
Yes, I agree with you, Gorley. They definitely should stay at the back. I know we do. We shut up for the moment. I'll drink the sorcerer's ale.
Get out there, man. Look at
No,
you.
I'm talking to Gorley. You know, the shadow guy on my...
Hello and
Yeah.
welcome to this final boss fight live stream. It says Storm King's Thunder on my title.
Hello, it is now Storm King's Fun.
Hello and welcome to Storm King's Thunder.
We're now going to fight giants now, guys.
That would have confused everyone. Suddenly making it so this team was in Storm King's Thunder and now the team...
Ahead of you, now, giant. Oh, no.
I mean, Jeff's suggestion for dealing with the fact that he couldn't make last week's Storm King's Thunder session was that basically the entire Storm King's Thunder team was asleep and we were just going to go over to the jungles of Omu.
I love that.
That is more fun.
We are back. It's been Christmas and New Year's, and hopefully you guys have had a great time. And no. Well, never mind. It's happened and it's over, so we can move on to new things.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la.
And
Way too bring up the mood.
my name is John. I am joined by my usual colourful cavalcade of characters. Tanny is here.
I'm Dad. Hi.
Sean is here.
Oh, ado.
Carboom is here.
How do?
Ben is here.
Hello, and aren't you looking sexy?
Why, thank you.
Maddie is here.
Howdy, hey.
Cutie.
And Sammy is also here.
Heidi ho, ho ho ho.
Who are you
Probably
calling
a
a
home
hoe?
for date.
And we are going to continue on with the Tomb of Annihilation, because that seems a perfectly good thing to carry on with.
No.
Yes.
Really? I thought maybe we could carry on with my wayward son.
Well, I mean, we'll look into that.
There'll be peace when you are done. Just lay your weary head there.
With the Tomb of Annihilation and your wayward son.
Didn't know I had a son.
I hope I don't have a son.
Don't you cry.
Well, you've not seen part 3 of the story yet, so you don't know that. When last these brave heroes were in the jungles of Omu, the ruins of Omu in the jungles of Chult. I keep getting the two things confused. You guys had a bit of a Barney. You had a bit of a fight. Riordan ran off and left you guys as he had a threat of his own to deal with.
Oh, there he is again. There he is.
Romad and Philippe left the rest of the camp
For reasons unknown.
because they wanted to press on with the pressing matters at hand.
Roman was being a twat. He was being a freaking asshole.
They
Arrogant little fucker.
they managed to find a camp of a group of adventurers, as well as another shrine with a puzzle cube in it, whereupon the rest of the party managed to catch up with them. Sammy's not here, apparently.
Oh.
It's all an illusion, says Sammy on Twitch.
Damn it,
I don't know whether the Sammy on Twitch is telling me that he is an illusion, or if the Sammy in the Discord chat is telling me via Twitch that he... I'm confused.
I managed to
think
confuse
I think
John
what I-
immediately.
I think what he's saying is that we need to kill Theodore's lower. It's a false.
No.
Which Sammy is an illusion? Are all Sammys illusions?
It's a changeling. Kill it.
This is
With fire.
this is the question, right?
Where you guys managed to press through the shrine and claim the puzzle cube, the third puzzle cube for your own, with some narrow escapes from some deadly traps. You made your way back outside, you played with an Almirage, and then were approached by Luz Weiss, who asked you to come and save the multiverse and her wedding. Whereupon you joined with the Storm King's Thunder group. I am noticing that my chat is on red, so...
Bad stuff.
That's
Bad
better.
stuff. No,
That's better. I can hear again.
Yeah, that seems better.
Okay, how
I
far back in the recap do you guys need me to go so that you guys
I
got
got
it?
up to the 3 puzzle cubes.
Yeah, same. 3 puzzle cubes
Yeah, I
and then
got-
you died.
Okay.
Narrowly avoided traps.
You managed to narrowly avoid some traps and claimed the third puzzle cube for your own. You made your way back outside of the shrine and played with an Almirage before Luz Weiss approached you and asked you to help save both her wedding and the multiverse as a whole.
But the wedding first.
But, you know, to her, the wedding was kind of important. You joined up with another group of adventurers who had some dealings with the Death Curse themselves, and you made your way through a series of challenges, whereupon you managed to stop the destruction of the multiverse as we know it. So, good job, guys.
Yay.
During this quest, Philippe's egg that he's been carrying around for some time, the kobold egg, hatched, revealing a winged golden kobold inside. Theoda,
Who of the devil?
Torin Vasudasegiesh was chosen by a suit of armor to be the champion of Kelimvor. And Seraphine tore her fancy dress from the Feywild, but got to see the wedding of Luz and Nemesis Kriv
And survive it.
and survive.
And Roban got a new boyfriend.
And Romad got a new boyfriend.
Indeed.
Or at the very least,
Which,
caught up with an old friend. And maybe there was some smooching and cuddling involved.
yes.
Aw.
So, John, I have a question about all this.
Yes.
You mentioned that due to time wobbly up, we will not remember all of this. So what do we remember?
So basically, you guys have now returned to where you came from, and the Spelljammer dropped you off at exactly the same place, in exactly the same time.
I personally thought you said Space Jam, and I was literally going to sing.
Playing basketball, it's weird.
The Spelljammer dropped you off in exactly the same space and time. You remember the details. It's like a dream. So the big moment things, the big events that happened, the major details are there. Some of the smaller details of like how you got like wandering down corridors, you know, going through specific doors, the exact routes you took through places is fading from your mind.
I quickly write down left, right, left, up, down, B, A,
What
stop.
about faces of people that we knew?
Those stick with you.
So Torin and I and Riordan, we remember Briar and
Yes.
Talon.
Yes.
Okay.
And
The GIF explained that future events might cause more details to come back, and possibly when you catch up with events that will be going to have happened, details will set more firmly in your mind.
does he remember Eric very much? Or just little small bits of Eric?
You remember the coming of him.
Damn it!
You would remember seeing him again.
Okay. But not remembering what happened on that day.
Not at the moment.
It would be like a dream.
It was a nice dream.
And so now, having dreamed a wonderful dream where you saw old friends, you saw a beautiful wedding, you stopped devils from invading this world, you're back in the ruins of Omu. Torin Vasudha is now clad in bone-white armor, and
Interesting.
and Philippe is holding a baby-sized kobold with wings. And
yes.
at this point, I say unto thee, go.
Suddenly, unleash your patience.
I will stop if there is a lot of crosstalk, but
Of course.
Let's Theodas have his moment because he's been waiting for this for us for a long time. Theodas, go for it, boy.
I'm first wondering, because Torin and I saw it at the same time, so I'm first wondering what is Torin's reaction to it. Just from me to know.
What's Torin's reaction to what?
He doesn't care. Okay.
It's like he's kind of like staring at it, not very happy, but
What the flying fuck is that shit?
That's me, boy.
Just insult
Before
my
anything's said, I step right in the middle of everyone, and right in between the kobold and anyone who is staring at it.
I'm the scat man.
It is young, and he is going to look after it, and he is going to guide it down the right path. If he does not, then you can do something.
Phyllis will shush Riordan with a sign of the hand, turn to Philip and say, "What is it?"
And Philip responds, "What are you talking about?"
The thing you're holding in your hand, Philip. I'm not blind.
I'm sitting right next to him, so I'm like,
What are you talking about?
I'm hearing some
That
shit
thing
here.
that just made that noise.
Oh, yes, him. It's Nymgar.
Nymgar?
I don't care. What is it?
I'm not quite sure.
I'm gonna incite the fuck out of this.
I'm serious, I am, so I guess I
No,
am
because-
not with this bunker.
I'm actually not sure if Philip knows what a winged kobold is.
Nah, I'm sure you don't know.
I really know nothing.
uh,
That's why I'm right next to him. I knew you would catch on, Sean.
You son
I
of a
don't
faddish.
care about anything else. I
No,
trust
I said
Philippe,
your
and I
mother
believe
buys
that
you
we
like
all
one
should
something like
trust.
It's so John, do I recognize this as a kobold or not?
it's younger than you've seen a kobold previously, but it is unmistakably not a human or a tabaxi baby. It is
Wait.
a small, draconic creature covered in golden scales with wings. It's a runty little creature.
Further up question, Philip.
In a cave.
In a cave, which cave?
I'm not sure the cave had a name actually.
Would it happen to be the cave that was the dwarven mine we were in?
Maybe.
Okay, now I'm inciting.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Guys, I have an important announcement. This is of great importance. Where the fuck is Tammy?
I think she's just not on the
She doesn't appear on this map.
Yeah, because that would be too many people on the map. She's on your shoulder.
Where's my girl?
Philippe,
I told her.
roll me a deception check.
And then we see actually wings spreading of Nymgar's mouth. Deception, okay.
And then suddenly the kobolds say, "Kill all humans."
Watch the natural 20 come in here.
Come on, John. If you jinx it, I'm going to murder you.
I'm not so good at this deception. So.
Well,
Apparently you are.
Seraphine and Romad, you completely buy that he doesn't quite remember the cave. Theodas something, yeah, it's
bullshit.
he's not telling the truth.
He's giving the glare.
So, Philip, I know you know which cave it is.
You can tell from the way his tail moves that you know that he's lying.
Yeah,
Stop
right.
lying to me now.
I mean, Philip would most likely be thinking, shit, he already knows about the tail.
Your tail tells you too much, boy.
What are you hiding about this thing?
I mean, I'm
It's
not.
the Antichrist.
I mean, not much. I mean, it's just born. It's not like I have much to hide from it.
Where did you get it exactly? Was it the dwarven mine? And if you say maybe again, that means yes to me.
Well, I got it from an egg in a cave where there were many other eggs.
That's the dwarven mine then.
What's this gonna be the place?
Philip, you might as well tell them the truth.
What Tammy had said. Philip, you heard what Tammy said and you ignored him.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I did.
You ignored her, which is really not a good thing.
Are you telling me, Philip, that you saved one of those eggs and are now holding one of those kobolds?
The kobold waves at you. Da ba da ba da da.
I'm gonna go really close to it and look at it, like suspiciously looks at it.
So Philip
Raven's
would
keeping
take
an eye on
Nymgar a bit more closely in his arm that said, might be, yeah.
Walks up to it.
I think Tammy should do this as well.
Yeah, Tammy should do this as well.
Oh gosh, is there
Is this thing evil, John?
I'm trying to work out if you get any other pings.
I mean, I've no doubt I probably get other pings as well.
And
Although
then,
it's only a 30-foot range of me.
You'll probably
so-
get a ping on my shoulder.
and then the twist, it's a celestial being.
Suddenly, the whole town pings.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just get through this first. Sean, Torin detects a celestial presence, a fiendish presence, a fey presence, another fey presence, and a third fey presence. The final,
Wow.
the final fey presence is coming from the child, and it's weak. It's not fully fey. It's sort of a corruption of a creature. The other two fey presences come from, obviously, Romad and Tammy, and the fiend and celestial presences come from Riordan.
Ah.
So I'm looking at this thing and just go, and then I turned around.
No area within 30 feet of you is magically consecrated or desecrated. I think it's safe to say from where you are at the moment.
Does Tammy detect any goodness or badness to this little creature?
Tammy will reach out and touch Nymgar.
Is it Nymgar? Nymgar.
Nymgar.
And
Type it in. It's gonna type it in.
yeah, Nymgar.
That's a cute little thing.
And Nymgar will laugh at the slight tickling. Tammy looks confused. Already evil laugh. Kill it. Corruption. Kill it.
Throw it into the lava.
No, it's gonna consume the lava and get bigger and destroy.
I mean, Philip is a bit worried about Tammy because he remembers the time she said things are evil, but he doesn't really trust her judgment in the matter.
She says that it's currently happy. It would like some food at some point soon. It doesn't feel good or evil yet. It doesn't feel the same as the ones that were in the cave.
Maybe. So, if we were to give it good influence, maybe it would turn good, Tammy?
I mean, that's how babies work, you know?
It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if we do good
his hand on his scimitar.
Philip will take a step back while hiding a bit Nymgar.
Okay, so if we were to show good influence towards this thing, I'm assuming it'll turn good. But if I see, well, mostly Theodas will probably see it first, but if I see one evil thing from that creature, I will not hesitate to kill it. And you can't stop me, or him.
So, wait, so you mean when you see a kid doing a prank or stuff like that, you kill them?
No!
And
that sounded like that.
Thing.
You have to be careful with that definition. Think about what we do. We go around killing creatures and people and anything which gets in our way.
No, we don't.
Are we not definition?
We kill what attacks us. We do not kill.
Yes.
So.
Or even it's possessed by a freaking demon or something.
I'm surprised you didn't side with that thing, since it is the offspring of the very same dwarf you swore to avenge.
I avenged them with the dragon.
Don't you
it was
remember
the dragon
bodies?
that killed them all.
And
it was the dragon. It was not the kobolds.
And
they
don't
took
you remember
over.
everything that they did in this mine?
I remember, and I know more than you would. I have seen so much more than you would. But the fact of the matter is,
I have a lot of doubts on that.
Did you get to see it before it was destroyed? Did you get to see every dwarf that was in that mine? Did you talk to them afterwards?
I point the finger at you. You, Riordan, carried out the order just as I did of destroying those eggs. You did not have...
And that is my burden to hold. And I believe it.
Who can say that this creature won't cause another massacre like this one?
Who says it won't help a lot of people too? I mean, anything can happen. It's a baby.
And that's why I'm willing to take no chance.
It has opportunities in all directions. It has possibilities in all directions.
So what, are you going to kill every baby you encounter in case they turn evil?
I'm going to.
I start to
It
hold
is-
on to my quarterstaff and bring it forward.
It
Ready.
is different between a baby and this
What
thing.
about it?
Why?
What about the humans that decide to wage wars? What about the ones who decide to cut down millions of lives who knows babies as well?
We should
This
sort of
is a
humans.
child in the right presence. It has the right chance and a person to look after it and guide it into the light. Those other eggs, they did not have that chance.
I turn to Tammy. Tell me, Tammy, you seem to know a lot about these creatures. Are they evil, usually?
Usually kobolds are evil, but usually kobolds are raised by other kobolds.
I'm happy to just keep an eye on it.
I walk towards Philip,
Mm.
just waiting to see if Roden stops me or anything.
I am
Really?
standing by, very close and watching.
So Philip
Just
uses
your
Nymgar
comment.
to make sure he's ready to anything to make sure Nymgar is safe.
Romad is also watching Theodas.
Looking down at the kobold.
It's dancing with the dagger.
This has no effect on Theodas.
Torin has started juggling his equipment for some reason. You don't know why.
Didn't know I could do that.
I'm sure it's to distract the kid. Looks at the kobold. Do you know anything about taking care of kids?
Yeah, I took care of my little sister for a while.
Do you know anything about taking care of a kobold?
Mm.
Does anyone know about any kobolds, like as in history or like as in is it animal handling, whatever, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
can I roll? What do I roll to see if I know stuff about kobold actually?
Yeah, what do I?
It would be nature.
Let's all roll it.
Nature
Because
roll.
I probably don't know shit.
Making sure I'm not on advantage
Yep.
or anything. Nature.
I do.
Nope.
Yeah, that sounds
Only
about
me
right.
is 14.
Torin, you forget things about kobolds.
What is a kobold?
What is
Torin
this?
is, Torin is like, it's not a kobold, it's a dragonborn.
Wait, that's a kobold?
Yeah, he first was a dragonborn.
I thought there were goblins. I thought those green things with pointy ears were the kobolds.
I thought snuffers. Do I know anything since I got a 14?
You will know the following information.
Exist.
Kobolds tend to be reptilian humanoids that worship evil dragons and serve them as minions and toadies. They are physically weak and tend to rely on large numbers of kobolds to deal with anything. And tend to just kind of throw large numbers of themselves into any threat to try and deal with it, because eventually they hope that they will surmount the odds. They tend to live underground and are typically at a disadvantage above ground. There is a small chance that a kobold will be winged. They are born with leathery wings and can fly. This type of kobold is called an erd, and they tend to like to fly up and drop rocks on passers-by. They don't get along. Erds and non-winged kobolds don't get along with each other because the the non-winged kobolds really want the wings and are jealous.
Mhm.
The wings are seen as a gift from the Dragon Queen.
Tiamat?
Yes.
Oh
Are you-
boy.
Did you
Royalty.
say all that?
Do we know anything about actually raising the child?
Yeah, is there any way where if there's only a single kobold, basically being brought up by something else, is that rare to happen?
It would be very unusual.
I've got a question,
If-
John. Would Safe know anything about this?
Probably not.
Considering here's my information lots on the side.
Probably this is a little bit out of his wheelhouse.
Fair enough.
I don't know how much he knows about child rearing.
Even kobold child rearing.
Especially kobold child rearing.
Fair.
I mean, I would think that
I didn't know whether maybe he knew how kobolds look after they're young in the first place.
I would have thought it'd be fairly reptilian. You know, no milk or anything, just kind of like small amounts of meat.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
would have
that's-
thought. I'm just.
That's why I fed. That's what I fed him earlier.
Sounds logical.
So, question: does Romat say any of that, or
I do.
okay.
I say that, and I want to say, like, as in, it is very unusual for a kobold, as a single baby kobold, to be away from that kind of situation and been put into a different care. I've never seen anything like it. So, I don't know if it's down to influence or just how it's been brought up, but if it's from a different environment and a different caretaker, maybe there's a possibility, probably a short chance, it might have a different upcoming. But anything can go sideways, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But-
As draws his sword, looks at Phyllis.
So
I'll
Philip,
give you this one chance. As Romat said, if I see anything that hints that this thing could become evil, if Tammy tells me that it's becoming evil, if Torin feels that it's becoming evil, I'll cut it down myself. I won't enjoy it, but I'll do it. And if you want to stop me, you have to kill me. Am I making myself clear?
you will try.
Good.
I'm hearing slapping noises from Ben's. Are you hitting something, Ben?
From mine?
I'm sorry, I'm forging a new axe.
It does sound like it.
There is no
Sounds
banging
so-
noise coming from my area.
Well, it stopped now.
Let's stop now. I think I've jinxed it.
It's the ghost.
It's a ghost.
No, that's my house
It's the ghost of
actually.
Orion.
Oh, it's Kaboom's.
Yeah, my
Honey.
stepfather was breaking wood for the fire.
Sorry
And
for
this
interrupting
is
that.
starting again.
Wait,
Sorry
yes,
for that,
emotion,
Sammy.
emotion.
Just-
Get back into the emotion.
Sorry about that, guys. I was really concerned about the noise.
Okay, but with all that lot underway and understood, shall we continue? I know there's at least someone who needs our help.
At least 2 people, 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
The whole
Definitely.
world needs our help, but there's
Well, the whole world is
one
open.
person
3
who I know
people,
personally.
3 people we know of.
3? Briar, the guy that basically,
Briar, the guy who hired us, and the guy whose wedding we were saving.
yes.
Torin is currently
Yes.
concentrating on
Good or evil.
detect good or evil.
Still staring at me, apparently.
Yes. Suspicious about what the readings I'm getting from Riordan.
Riordan, it's been a little while. I hope you still remember the Google Doc, but number 3.
One moment, let me see.
Just number 2. Just John's going to be ordering a Chinese in the background.
I'm hungry now.
Number 3 now, please.
Number
No,
3,
sorry, yeah,
number 12, and a.
I'd-
I've got to get back to it.
I would have to write a very long list to order my Chinese from earlier, a 113, 38, and a 106.
This is the only thing. It was a fair while back, and the only problem is I got it on the blooming messenger.
That's why you save it to your favorites.
Ah, I will remember that in the future, but not now.
That's why I have D&D Dash on my. Or D and Dash, whatever the fuck. How the fuck you?
Seraphine will pull Theodas to one side.
Yeah.
You made it sound like she's strong enough to like pull you with force.
Just
You
pull
should-
it above her head.
Seraphine will tug on Theodas' shirt sleeve.
I got -1 in strength. It could be very much possible.
Let me just double check my strength real quick. I got -1 in strength as well, so we're even.
You both somehow prop each other up.
John, did you get my message?
Yes, I did.
What number is it?
Not going to tell you.
God damn
Number
it.
2. We said number 2.
It's
No,
number
it's
three.
number
we said.
3.
Yeah.
I'm half tempted to say, can you send it again?
I can do.
Send it again.
So-
I think that's going to be easier.
You failed
So
me, Ben.
Seraphine will kind of. Like
She's already.
Thank
pulls
you.
him closer so only like he can hear, and she's just like,
I could barely
And-
see Torin from under all of these little
At
bloody
any
glass.
Oh, for God's sake, what on earth is that? Oh, blimey. Yes, Ghoul, I know it's not there. Still, it is there, it is there. I don't know. I don't believe I know what this thing is. Or how to describe it. It's-
Are you having your visions again, Bruno?
I hope so. Because
Can
this...
you describe to me what it is?
It's hard to describe. It looks like it's been dissolved. Well, most of it's been dissolved. I don't know, acid or something like that, but it's jumping around, flapping its arms and roaring. Reminds me of the dragon which faced them. Oh, God. I don't know how to describe this, John.
It's,
Who's John? Who is it?
Who's
It's
this
another
John?
voice in my head.
it's a short,
Sophie.
4'5", 5 foot, 5 foot tall creature. Half of its body has been dissolved. The other half, down to the bone. The other half looks like a humanoid blackbird.
What have you been drinking, Bruno?
It is.
You what?
It is jumping around. It is roaring like a dragon, and mixed in with that insane laughter, and then the sound of.
I don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of it, but that's creepy. To say the very least.
Is Torin getting any pings of undead or anything?
Nope.
I go to the blank space where it's jumping around. Is there something I can do to help you?
I'm like accompanying, just in case it's not in range or anything.
The creature will stop jumping for a minute, look up at you.
I'm just gonna stand. I'm gonna just sit on the side here.
It doesn't say anything.
Can you speak? Can you hear me?
It shakes its head.
No. Okay.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
It nods.
How can I help you? What can I do?
It will point further down the road and make the sound of stone grinding against stone.
Whew.
A mill?
It
Is that what
it will point to one of the puzzle boxes.
There's another
Ooh.
puzzle. You want us to go and solve another puzzle? Get another one of these.
It nods and holds up 9 fingers. Granted, 4 of them are skeletal, but
9 fingers. He's holding up 9 fingers. Are there 9 boxes? Is that what you're saying?
it nods.
There are 9 boxes in total. There are 9 of these puzzle boxes which we need to get. And it will help you.
Nods and fades.
He's gone. But he showed me the next place where there should be another puzzle box over there.
I agree, Sammy.
It said we needed 9 of them.
It says there's 9 of them, yes.
And it stands to reason there'd be in these shrines then. The graffiti said to someone went in search of 9 shrines.
It's got to be.
Then we look for shrines.
Indeed. But there's one over there. Can you point out where that is, John? Where he was pointing.
They pointed along this path.
Oh, right.
Philippe,
Mhm.
at the end of the last session, you stood on top of a roof and you spotted a shrine over in this direction.
Oh. Sorry, guys, I cut out. Yes, I spotted a shrine.
You spotted a shrine over that way.
So, and which way was the one Riordan talked about?
Riordan is talking about a shrine that is further down the road that you've been walking along.
Well, I can point them the direction and says there's a shrine pretty much close by, right over there. But I don't know how further is the one you talking about, Riordan?
He just pointed down the road. But if you've seen one specifically, we should go to that first. At least we know it's exactly there. We don't need to find it.
It's right this way.
Okay. Follow Philippe.
Following the leader, the leader, the leader.
Unless these two want to try.
And one moment, while you guys start to wander off,
Actually, I wouldn't be wondering.
as-
I'd be waiting.
as you guys are having this discussion and Riordan is seeing the Kenku, this was occurring.
Yes. So, Seraphine's gonna like pull Thetis down like closer, so only he can hear when she says this, and she just says to him, she's like, "If at any point you feel like that thing is gonna go off the wire, you let me know, and I will distract either Philip or Riordan, or both of them if I can, while you deal with it."
Titus nods and kind of looks. Yeah, it's kind of a sorry look on his face. Like, it's very obvious he doesn't want to have to do it, but he's resigned to kill the kobold if needs be.
Mhm. And then she'll kind of like look at her feet, and she'll kind of like think about how she's going to bring this up. Before we went to do the whole multiverse saving wedding thing, whatever the heck that was, you, in that whole giant outburst thing that occurred, you said you were exiled, right?
Theodus kind of his face darkens a bit. He nods, not saying anything, and like jaw clenched, basically.
Did you ever know why?
No.
And then she'll kind of like sigh and look down. She'll just like and say, "Yeah, neither did I."
He will kind of put a hand on her shoulder, kind of have an understanding nod, but doesn't ask questions yet. Mainly because he can see that the rest of the group is fucking off.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just watching you guys.
Yeah, so she'll give the hand that you put on her shoulder like a reassuring pat, and just give you an understanding nod as well, and then she'll kind of start walking along.
Torin suddenly wakes up and shouts, "I return!"
You just go back, Rob. You have to be right back, Rob.
And Theodas was laughing. Basically, Torin just fell asleep while being up, and
Yeah, just
suddenly, I return!
He just like,
He was concentrating too much on looking at Riordan.
"BRB," he said, and shut his eyes. And, "I return!"
But I must go.
Anyway, back to following the weeder.
Following the leader, the leader, the leader. Following the leader.
Wherever he might go.
A fallen tree crosses the river ahead. Its trunk is wider than a man and stretches more than 100 feet. On both banks lies... Oh, yeah, I'll bring
I've
Renala.
forgotten about the wife who's been really quiet.
Um,
Whoa.
do we have to roll something to cross the tree?
Yes, you do.
What?
On both banks lie ruined buildings. The fallen tree is wide enough for two of you to cross it at a time. Or at the very least, it looks wide enough that two of you could pass by each other.
Yeah, I mean, we cross in a line that's more safe.
Under the tree, the water churns towards a waterfall further down the stream.
That leads into certain death.
I say we cross by swimming. So, what should I roll to cross the trunk?
That would be a dexterity check.
Okay.
Oh, joy.
Just a quick note to say that before attempting to cross the tree, Philip will pull a coin from his pocket, flip it, catch it, not look at the result, and put it back while saying "Oh, Timora," because he learned a bit about Timora from Renala when they were together. Ooh.
You climb up onto the tree and you put your arms out to help balance yourself. And...
And
start...
Death.
and just die. And you start to make your way across the first bit of the tree.
Okay.
And suddenly an arrow...
Oh, fuck you!
Oh. That reminds me of a certain Lord of the Rings.
Do a dex save.
Does a 20 hit your armor class?
20 does hit my armor class.
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay. The arrow pierces into you, and you take 10 points of damage from the arrow, and then you feel a pulse of poison shoot through your body. You take another 11 points of damage from that. And then...
Lamo.
Laughing ass my off.
Lamo!
Lamo.
The llama-based magician. I am Lamo!
I am the magnificent Lamo.
God damn you guys.
It's Rumad ultimate spell.
How dare you talk about my boy?
Lamo.
I mean, it's a very good thing that I was the first to cross and not like Seraphine.
Seraphine would have gotten halfway across the log and then just clung to it in fear and just
Did we see where the arrow got shot from?
You can make me a perception check.
Perception check.
You can make him the fuck. Perception
I will
check.
make a perception check and kind of start raging. I mean, begin
I'm busy
the
talking
rage.
to my my
Yes.
shoulders.
What does your ally see?
Seraphine, you notice a tree with river rushing under it.
Yeah, she's just still focused on that. She's like, I will not be controlled by my fear.
I'm just talking to my
Theodas
shoulders
sees
at this
all,
point.
but Theodas won't tell because Theodas do not like to feel.
He's still gonna keep on to that.
None of
It's a running
you,
gag at this point.
none of you can see where the arrow came from.
What
You
are you
can
kids?
Can I see the direction though? Not
You can see
especially
roughly
where
where
it
it came from. It came from the other side of the river.
Okay.
Fuck it, yeah.
Yep.
I did a
Can
20, so
Can I use feline agility to quickly go finish crossing and get under cover from the bushes?
You can do, yes.
Yay! Feline, wait a second. Feline agility. So basically, Philip just seemed to crouch a bit. You might think that he's that wounded, that he fell on his knees, but then he leaps forward and rushes to hide quickly under the cover of bushes.
Tabby mode activate.
Claws just pop out and he claws across the log and there's like scratch marks left in the top of the log.
He was using it as a scratch for his face. Yes.
There was a mug sitting on the log, and as he went past, he knocked it into the water and then carried it on.
it's basically the guy who shot in, used the laser and really saw down and was like,
Meow. My cat hates laser.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Not me.
I have a question, John.
Yes.
I have a spell that is called Water Walk.
Okay.
Could I use that without being rushed towards the waterfall?
Good
No.
question.
That's a very good question.
I would not let you.
Because it basically allows me to walk on water, but
I can water, I can fly.
Theodas is Jesus confirmed.
and Theodas can make people become Jesus as well, apparently.
Yep.
Jeebus.
It says any liquid surface.
Yeah.
And you also can grant it to 10 willing creatures.
I mean, if you did that and we held on to the tree as we went across,
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
definitely you could
John.
do that.
John, can I use my Totem Warrior ability of the wolf to try and find tracks of the people who might have shot me?
Not prepared.
I forget what the Totem Warrior of the Wolf aspect of the wolf does. 1 second.
It has been too
I-
long.
You can
I-
hunt other creatures.
No.
No.
Mm.
It doesn't work that way. You can try and track the creature, but it won't. You don't get any bonuses from the aspect of the wolf.
Okay.
Um,
What is it to track people?
it would be a survival check.
Oh, survival. I got proficiency that one.
You don't spot any tracks at the moment.
Mm.
Is it
However,
in the trees?
God, however.
Riordan,
yes,
Drunk.
oh boy, does a 15 hit your armor class?
yes.
An arrow whizzes from a slightly different location towards you.
Can I do a reaction to
You
it?
can do a reaction to it.
In which case,
I
Deflect
try to
missile.
spot where it is.
Missile snare! Missile snare!
Alright, so how do I do this to deflect myself?
I believe if you just hit the speech bubble.
Ah.
Yes. So the arrow whizzes towards you, and you just reach out and grab it.
Hey! Hey guys, I got an arrow!
You can see dripping from the tip of the arrow a deadly poison.
Just make a range.
Another roll of perception.
It's one of those
See
things
if
where I
there's
would
something.
throw it. I would throw it again, the only thing is I don't know where it came
Oh,
from.
you can throw it for leaf if you want, but I mean that seems a bit mean.
I'm not going to do that, but mind you, considering that it's a poisoned arrow, could I give it to Theodus?
You can do.
Considering
He throws it at us, takes in full in the head,
I-
dies.
I hand it to Theodus. Use this against our enemies. Let them feel their own burn.
I'm gonna keep that arrow for the kobold.
Anybody else who wishes to remake the perception checks can now remake perception checks to see if they can see where this new arrow came from.
Me too,
Okay.
or the 9 contest, the 11, I mean.
Oh, I barely knew anything. Oh, wow.
Well done,
I
Romad.
mean, we all kind of redid, I think.
Yep, you didn't see.
Say, Ronaldo.
Over here.
Romad is like, the arrow came from a bow.
Say, Ronaldo, would you care doing a perception as well?
Oh yeah, of course. I should probably actually roll for
Oh yes, of course I should open my
How
eyes.
about Tenny?
that.
What about anyone who can do perception? The kobold.
Anyone with eyes.
The kobold
Wait,
side.
does Nymgar spot it?
Oh,
Oh no, Tammy.
How about Golly and Safi? Do they spot anything?
No, they don't have eyes.
That would be a rare.
They're going to be handy when they try and take over my body.
Well, then they'll have your eyes.
Ah, good point.
Riordan, you can
Yes.
continue to finish crossing the bridge.
Did I need to roll it for anything for that, though, or just
Uh,
go straight across?
No, you can get across.
Okay.
Sean.
Hello, Philip here.
I'm gonna
Oh,
give
sure.
that to everyone around me as well.
Okay. Theodos casts a spell and steps out onto the water.
Shoot me!
Okay.
Don't ask for it.
I know it's gonna happen, so
Does a 13 hit your armor?
no.
An arrow sinks into the armor and doesn't pierce your body.
And then you hear in the bushes, "Damn it, Jimmy! You
Does
missed!"
a 21 make it? Come on.
Nope.
What?
This guy's real stealthy.
Let me try. I mean, given the stats we
telling.
got, we can
Mate.
hope that they suck
I
at
think we
close
kind of
combat.
need to get over here quick and get into cover.
Oh!
They got 25 here. Come on.
For
That's
Leaf.
survival.
For Leaf,
Hi, Sean.
you spot some tracks leading from one like bush to another. And you look in this bush that the tracks lead to, and just as you look to it, a tabaxi pops out.
Huh?
Which kind of tabaxi? Like me or the humankind?
A tabaxi like you.
Oh,
A cat.
what? Why did he shoot me?
And we will
It's
just
Sure,
racist.
the actually doesn't mean he's not going to shoot you.
go to the random battle map for this random battle.
Oh, we're all there. Hello, kobold friend.
Oh, I do wonder how well he'll do in combat.
Dragon bait.
Also,
I forgot about dragon bait.
I forgot Dragon Bane was with us.
so for Leaf,
No,
Oh,
he's not.
dragon. Why is it all dark?
I was
Where am
I was behind Riordan. I was like kind of here compared to Philip. If we consider that this place is the river.
Renala will be here.
Let's- Should I use my artistic?
All the way over here.
Oh, what? Who? Where?
Where the bloody hell am I at?
Where the bloody hell are you at?
Juggling.
Seraphine, get on the
What's
map.
going on? What's going on? I literally just went away for a minute and then suddenly this happened.
Well, this is what you get for going away for just a minute.
I'm sorry.
You
Oh,
get
It's a random
It's
battle.
destroyed. That's what happens.
Cousin.
You racist. You don't know.
Okay.
It's Simba.
He's wearing a
Remember
hat.
Who you are.
Okay. Initiative.
Initiatives, please.
Foolish.
Oh, yeah, of course. Select and then roll it.
Right. Where's my thingy?
Finally, a decent enough roll.
Initiative! That's,
Wow.
that's reasonable!
Who are missing?
Oh, me. Wait, I can't do anything, can I?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
roll
Well,
initiative.
Sorry.